everybody, and welcome to this year's annual Diamond Awards. My name is Tony Boca. I'm the Regional Staffing Director for Miller Brothers Staffing and your current Chamber President. And evidently Parking Director. At this time, it's my pleasure to call the special meeting, also known as the Annual Diamond Awards, to order. So at this point in time, I'm just going to go ahead and give a little update on the state of your chamber. Thanks again for joining us. First of all, I want to say how great it is to see everybody here this evening. We've all gone through a lot over the last 2 years. Last year this time was virtual. We didn't know if we were going to be able to do something in person. Luckily, here we are. I think we've all come a long way, experienced a lot of good, a lot of bad, a lot of change. And your chamber is no different. I'm happy to let you know that the chamber is in a really good place, and maybe better than it's been in years. We continue to grow, move forward with various events, and our membership continues to increase. Your chamber is here to help you. With everything that's going on, I'd like to remind you the chamber is here for you guys. What's that mean? Let me ask you, when's the last time you took advantage of a program or attended an event the chamber had to offer, other than tonight? Maybe you have someone from your business that would benefit from maybe a leadership class. How about enrolling in Leadership Meadville? This year's class will be class 13, I believe, correct? Special thanks to Gary Svets for taking over and facilitating our leadership classes. How many people in the audience tonight have taken one of the classes? If you don't have anybody you want to go ahead and enroll in a class, what about, we offered time management seminars last year and we'll continue to do that this year. We recently co-hosted with the NTMA a fun seminar, which was COVID and weed. We had Steptoe and Johnson and the Manufacturing Association attended and spoke on our behalf. Very informative, very well received. But these are things that we do to help keep everybody informed, up to date, to the best of our knowledge. And we will continue to go ahead and offer different seminars in the future. How about a networking event, other than, again, tonight? Or a ribbon cutting or a business after hours. These are all great opportunities to meet your coworkers, your area businesses, and help support local. Some of you may not get this, and if you don't, I'm sorry, but I go ahead and look at the chamber as a mullet. Yeah, a mullet. Krista's looking at me. We're all business up front and party in back. Okay? And any of you that have been to networking events or after hours or gone on one of our chamber trips understand what we're saying, right? Which brings me to the chamber trip. We offer, what is this, the 9th year for our chamber trip. And we've had people from all organizations, owners, employees. Some people use it as an incentive. Some people have used it as a recognition. And some people use it as an excuse just to go and let their hair down. And I will have Adam attest to that. Adam lets his hair down, and obviously, as you can tell, it's still down, right? Other things that we do. Wine walks, golf outings, membership options. These are all things that you guys are all invited to. If you can't make it, you can send a representative from your business. Great networking events. Good time to blow off some steam and reward those within your organization. If you guys would like to actually learn more, we do a quarterly Maximize Your Membership, which I invite anybody to. This next membership orientation will be May 19th at the Chamber office between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. And it's just a review of what the Chamber can do for you as far as advertising, helping with staff, or other questions and opportunities. I'd like to go ahead at this time and congratulate this year's nominees. I'd also like again to thank all the sponsors that helped make this evening a big success. Lastly, myself, I'd like to go ahead and take this opportunity to recognize all the hard work that your dedicated staff does. So, Krista, Karen, Megan, and Eileen, on behalf of myself and the Board of Directors, we thank you. So at this time, I want to go ahead and introduce Eileen Mullen. She is our Crawford County K-12 Career Education Alliance Program Coordinator. I guess you need to swallow the mic. Yeah.
Thank you. Can everybody hear me? Thank you so much, and thank you for getting my title right. I know it's hard. I just wanted to update you guys. It's been so long since we've all been together, and it's so great to see everybody in person. During the time, during COVID, we did some virtual programs. We did some virtual interviews for our students, and I thank everybody who took part in that. For those of you who don't know what I do, our program does career exploration activities and events, after-school programs, anything that is career awareness and exploration in nature, and it serves the 3 school districts in Western Crawford County, kindergarten through 12th grade. And my connection to the community really starts with the Chamber members, and I really appreciate everybody who volunteers and really wants to help students make better informed decisions about their future. We did do virtual presentations and programs in COVID. That's all over. Starting in September, the kids came back to school and we started doing programs in person. And we did a career club after school at the Career and Technical Center. We had kids in 7th and 8th grade welding, machining, drafting, doing auto tech, cosmetology, health careers, anything you can imagine. So, of course, October is filled with MFG month. We really partner with NTMA to promote manufacturing. And then we started doing resume writing, interview skills, and mock interviews. So we have done mock interviews for all the 11th and mostly all the 12th graders in Western Crawford County to get them prepared, get their resume, help them to understand that what they do now translates into experience and will help them in their careers in the future. We also have done STEM field trips, career days for students on the autism spectrum. We just did Educator in the Workplace event at Accutech. Shout out to Jane Martin for being such a great collaborator. It was a wonderful event. We had We had over 50 educators from our school districts and post-secondaries in Allegheny come to that event. We also have post-secondary pathways so that we can help students to understand there's more than one pathway to a successful career. Thank you to the Chamber for the Chocoholic Frolic that happened in February. Of course, the Chamber always supports the work that we do, the Alliance and the programs that we do, but this is the way that they really support and celebrate the program financially, and it was very humbling to be the recipient of some of the proceeds from that. So I thank Karen and Krista and Megan. Thank you so much. Thank you. They're awesome. Ma'am's Career Week is coming up. We have panels, career panels. We have more field trips scheduled in May, going to different businesses. We have career camp coming in June. And of course, again, we have students in 7th and 8th grade trying to make better decisions about their future by having hands-on camps. Again, welding, machining, drafting, culinary, auto tech, diesel tech, and on and on. So very excited this year to be back with the students. Very excited that our kids have been so resilient. I really think they are learning more flexibility, and some of that, most of that translates into the employee that you guys will somehow have, right, in the future. So I just wanted to say thank you to all of you guys. With your help, I can't do these programs alone. I rely on volunteers. With your help, our program has served about 2,500 students just since November, right? Doing programs, getting in the schools. And so I thank you. I thank you to all the volunteers that have helped. I thank you to my steering committee. Can my steering committee members stand up? Would that be all right? Can you guys all stand up? All of my steering committee members. Thank you so much. They're so dedicated. So thank you to those who have come and supported. Thank you to members of the Alliance. Thank you to those who give donations. Sometimes we write a grant. United Way is an amazing supporter. NTMA and NTMA Education Foundation support these programs. We can't do it without funds, so I thank all the businesses that support these programs. And I thank you guys. I thank you all who have taken time out of your workday today to help educate and prepare the workforce of tomorrow.
Thank you, Eileen. At this time, I'd like to go ahead and introduce Gary Svets. Gary is the Leadership Meadville Program facilitator.
Well, good evening. I told my wife I didn't stand a chance in front of this group because I think you were tailgating earlier. I enjoy that process. I'm a Penn Stater, so I fully understand. But the idea about Leadership Meadville is all about connecting people with other people in this community. And basically, I brought, any instructor has to have a board. So this is the LM12 group. Now, all you see is dots, okay? But there's real people behind those dots. And those dots just are basically connecting, I call it the circumplex. Okay, I like that word. And so you'll see how many people have taken the DISC profile in their world, in their life. Okay, so some of you get this, and others I'll just explain. Real quick overview. You know, you have DISC, but the idea is in the red you have high energy dots that are on Red Bull all the time. And then you have the S chill dots, you know, in blue that just are passive, really don't like change, but they'll go with it, they're friendly. Then you have the yellow dots that love to do Excel spreadsheets and analyze things and find everybody else's mistakes, you know them. And then the Ds who, you know, they come to the traffic light, it's always green. And if they don't have a challenge, they try to get a challenge in front of them, and they'll just do anything for a challenge. Anyway, but basically what we see here is these dots start connecting. We do our team building, we get them involved in the community, but a lot of things happening. we're not only putting them in the circumplex, we're taking them outside into the community and set up days. We have these leadership Meadville connector dots that were past alumni that really do a great job coordinating these days between history and agriculture and public safety and government and healthcare, and it keeps going, and economic development. And so education's a big one. You know, our K through 12 coordinator is awesome. And while she's doing all connecting youth to their careers, she organizes a parade with leprechauns too. She's just multitasking. So the idea is all these dots there, we had 3 fertile dots. They had their firstborn in our program, you know, and so they have a support group. We don't teach that process. But the idea is that it was great to have them there and have them part of this whole program. And in these dots, when they go outside in the community, they meet all these leaders of organizations that tell them about Meadville, why are we here, what's their organization, what they want to do, and how they can be more part of the community. So a lot of our dots are nominees and award winners in the Diamond Awards here, and in the past and now tonight. So they go out of their way. A lot of these dots could be 22 to 75 years old, in all genders, whatever. We don't care. We never met a dot we didn't like. And so we keep busy. So sometimes in the last 2 years, because of COVID, we have these dots present leadership books, and they decide which ones they want to present. It's about leadership, it's about people in leadership, situations, whatever. And the idea is they decide what they want, and they go through the drill of doing that. And some of them haven't read in a long time, so we're forcing them to read. It's really cool. And so it's a literacy thing. And so we go from there, and we keep going, and we have one dot that talked about Hitler and his leadership style. We're a little concerned about that dot. But the idea is that at least everybody has a perspective, okay? And that's what it's about. The diversity is wonderful. And so as we keep going, we're almost there. We almost close out another year where they're presenting their journey through this 9-month process, and it's a process. And I get to see them bond, develop. They do things in the community. They reach out, and they're part of Light Up Night. They're part of the Chocoholic. They're part of coordinating the chili chowder cook-off. And this year, those dots had over 63 raffle baskets available, which is a record, okay? I just want to tell you that. They really coordinate, help fundraise for this program. It just shows the energy of when dots connect, look out, because they'll do things that you won't even imagine can happen. And that's part of this whole program. So make sure, LM stands for Leadership Meadville, but it's more than that. They're living Meadville. They're learning Meadville. They're loving Meadville. So why not be part of it? So be a dot, send a dot, volunteer dot, just get involved. And we're so lucky to have a community like this. I'm glad that we have a Leadership Meadville. We have over 175 dots out there now connecting, and they're taking the next step to engage in the community. Some of them never been a part of the community, now they are, and that's what we're trying to do, and that's what we're trying to develop. So thank you. Enjoy your evening. I'm just a small dot.
Thank you, Gary. At this time, I'd like to go ahead and introduce Andy Walker with Allegheny College.
Thank you, Tony, and thank you, Gary. You did that exercise with my team a few months ago, and that was a lot of fun, actually. So I am Andy Walker. I'm the Executive Director of Allegheny's Office of Economic, Civic, and Community Engagement. I've been in this new role with the college for a year now, as of last week or so, and working in the community, hopefully on some downtown development work, but also working with a great team of folks on campus who work with our student civic engagement program and work in the community that some of you are familiar with. I'm pleased this evening to represent the Davies family, who are not able to be with us this evening. Jack and Steve Davies, who many of you as longtime attendees of this event might remember that Jack and Steve typically attend to give this award. I'm grateful for the personal connection that I had to Lou and Ellie Davies early in my career. And if you had the good fortune of knowing Ellie, you knew she was a force of nature and sometimes a force to be reckoned with. Lou was a proud graduate of Allegheny and a member of the Board of Trustees, and along with his wife Ellie, they tirelessly advocated for student involvement in the local community and hoped students would grow to love Meadville as much as they did. Lou and Ellie were both recipients of the Shafer Award for Distinguished Community Service, and they were remarkable community champions and supporters. Nearly 20 years ago, the Davies family committed to funding the Davies Community Service Leaders Program, which to date has funded the work of over 200 students who have worked with approximately 30 different local agencies and nonprofits, including the United Way, the Meadville Area Recreation Complex, Center for Family Services, Active Aging, and many others. With additional support from the Farner family, the program evolved this year into the Davies Farner Civic Impact Scholars Program. The Lou and Ellie Davies Award for Outstanding Community Service is awarded annually to an Allegheny College student who has made a significant contribution to the Meadville area community and who has gone above and beyond in their volunteer internship commitment. The award is an integral part of the Davies Farner Civic Impact Scholars Program and is supported by the Davies Family Community Service Endowment, as well through contributions from the family itself. And over the lifetime of this award, over 40 students have been recognized for their outstanding service to the Meadville community. The award is based on nominations from local organizations who are asked to describe how the work of the student had benefited the Meadville community and how the student had gone above and beyond in their job or volunteer role. The nomination forms were then reviewed by a committee comprised of Mayor Jamie Kinder. And Mayor Kinder, I need you for this presentation later, so work your way up here, please. Gilly Ford, representing the President's Office at Allegheny, myself, and Amber Pouliot, who is the Assistant Director of Community-Based Projects at the college. This evening we have two finalists for the award, and I invite them to join me up front here, both seated. Our first finalist, Gabriella, stand please. Gabriella Grachin. Gabriella is a senior global health studies major and a Spanish minor, and is a member of our Bonner program. And throughout her college career, she has served at a variety of community organizations in Meadville, including Operation Reeds, Fairview Fairmont, the Arc of Crawford County, Forest Green Estates, the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Mentoring Program, and most recently the Fit Kids program, housed at First District Elementary. Gabriella's work directly impacts the health and well-being of our community's children by providing a quality after-school program with games, activities, and mentoring. Her nominator, First District Elementary Principal John Collier, has commended Gabriella for her long-term commitment to the program and for her outstanding work with the children who participated. Mr. Collier says you have the it factor, Gabriella, in terms of working with students, and we love to hear that. Our second finalist is Skyler Romilly. Skyler is a senior, also a global health major and Spanish minor. That's an interesting connection between them, both of you. She's a Bonner intern, managing a cohort of 45 Bonner students and supporting their development as student leaders. In her work prior as a Bonner service leader, Skyler worked as a site coordinator at Fairview Fairmont, where she implemented the Teen Time program to offer a safe space for teens, and at the Arc of Crawford County more recently. Skyler has worked at Center for Family Services as a part-time parenting and anger management specialist. Looking back on her time in Meadville, Skyler is grateful for the opportunities she has had to build strong relationships with area nonprofits and people she serves. Her nominator, Jason Nesbitt, thank you, Jason, warmly commends her dedication, compassion, and desire to serve the people of Meadville. I remember when I first started, Jason, you came to me and said, "Oh my gosh, Andy, there's this great student. I've got to talk to you and tell you about her." And that was you, Skyler. So Mayor Kinder, I'm going to hand the mic to you to announce the award winner, and I'll be Vanna White over here.
Fantastic. Thank you, Andy. It's a pleasure to be here tonight. As a member of the selection committee, I can say it wasn't an easy choice, but it is an honor to announce the winner of the 2022 Lou and Ellie Davies Award for Outstanding Community Service as Skyler Romilly, with an honorable mention as Gabriella Grachin.
So Mayor, thank you both. And I don't know if I mentioned, the award comes with a $500 prize and a $250 prize. So thank you both and congratulations. Back to you, Tony.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. At this time, I want to go ahead and bring up your executive director, Krista Lundy.
Good evening, everyone. As every year arises for this, it's one of my favorite evenings of the year, and one of my favorite parts is reading about all of the nominees. It's very humbling and very rewarding to hear what all of these emerging leaders and new businesses and nonprofit organizations are doing within our community. Thank you for giving of your time, of your resources, monetarily, your volunteer time. We sincerely appreciate all that you're doing, and every one of you are winners. Big round of applause for all of our nominees this evening. As you know, the last couple years we have done this virtually, with a big thanks to Starn Marketing as well. Thank you so much to Kim and your entire team for doing great videos for us, but we are very glad to be back in person. And I would like to have last year's winners come up this year for each category and reward this and announce this year's winner. So first of all, we have one that's not in your program. That is our Chamber Ambassador of the Year, and we do this every year. You may see the ambassadors with the Chamber staff and myself at business after hours, at ribbon cuttings, grand openings, anniversary celebrations. They are our Chamber champions. They are our Chamber cheerleaders, whatever you would like to call them. They are our right-hand people, because there are 3 of us at the Chamber office, and Eileen with the foundation, who's not in the office a lot because she's more importantly needed in the school system. So we need some volunteers and some helpers, and these people do a tremendous job helping us promote the Chamber, support the Chamber, believing in the Chamber and all that we do, and are not shy about telling their friends and business colleagues about all that the Chamber does, and we thank them for that. The person that is receiving this award tonight is at most everything that the Chamber does. When they got their current position at their job, they were told, get involved with the Chamber. You need to make connections. You need to help out in the community. And they have done that above and beyond. This person is very heavily involved in the Chamber, in NTMA, and many other organizations, and they have held a couple positions at the Chamber, including Vice President, and is currently our President of the Chamber. So many of you have seen Tony Boca at many of our events, and I'm very proud to, yes, it is you. I'm very proud to announce this year's Chamber Ambassador of the Year, and my dear friend, Tony Boca of Miller Brothers Staffing and Firehouse Tap and Grill. Would you like to say a few words?
Thank you, everybody. Thank you to the staff. You guys make this really easy for me to get involved. Yes, I was told when I got hired at Miller Brothers Staffing to be successful, get involved. You will be this, you will be that. Luckily, I've had the opportunity to go ahead and do so, and it has paid off over and over. Not only monetarily, successfully, but I've got to meet so many new people, make so many new friends, and to me, that's worth more than anything else. So again, thank you, Krista and Megan and Karen and Eileen, for everything you guys do. I really appreciate it. Thank you. To you.
His better half.
Because without your support, I wouldn't be able to.
And the 2020 winner of the Emerging Leader was Jason Nesbitt from Center for Family Services. And the 2021 winner of the Emerging Leader was Brian Gilday of the Gilday Group. And Brian will be presenting this year's award. So Brian, if you could come forward while I read the nominees. All of the nominees have a paragraph in your program. Please take the time to read about each of these individuals, organizations, and businesses that are doing so much in our community. At this time, it's my great pleasure to announce the Emerging Leader nominees in the male category. We have Travis Kreitzer of Loefflers and Blossoms and Blooms. Austin Rock of Accutech Precision Aerospace. And Matt Stearns of Millennial Money Management. Brian Gilday of the Gilday Group, your 2021 Emerging Leader.
All right, thank you. This individual stated that his most important leadership role currently is being an uncle to his nephews and niece. This by far is his greatest leadership role he has ever taken and most gratifying. After living in DC for 16 years, his appreciation for our humble small town and communities in Northwest Pennsylvania has grown exponentially, and he could not imagine living anywhere else. While he makes time for his family a priority, his communities in which he owns businesses benefit from him being so community-minded. He's a corporate board member for Meadville Medical Center and the Crawford County Economic Progress Alliance. He's active with the Chamber, being on the Ambassador Committee and volunteering for the Chamber Foundation. He loves inspiring and mentoring future leaders, and he helps promote local tourism as an active member of the Visitors Bureau. One of the things he's most proud of is being in Meadville Independent Business Alliance, where he has an integral part of the thriving downtown, as well as being part of the Linesville Community Business Alliance, helping promote new business and continued revitalization there. He's a board member and the president of the Henrietta, is that correct? Memorial Public Library and president of the Summit Township Planning Commission. In his spare time, he does own two florist and gift shops, Loefflers in Meadville and Blossoms and Blooms in Linesville, where he also assists in many events in the community by donating gift baskets and such to numerous local charities and nonprofit organizations. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me congratulate our 2022 Emerging Leader, Travis Kreitzer.
And one of the best dressed gentlemen in the room.
Wow, thank you so much. This is a great honor, and thank you to the Chamber for hosting this amazing event and being so supportive of the business community in our area. I think we're very lucky. Congratulations to the other nominees in my category. I had the pleasure of doing the flowers for both of their weddings. I moved back, I grew up here, I moved back to the area, and I have such a fond appreciation for the area in which we live. Living in DC, I wouldn't want to live anywhere else than right here in Meadville. City life has its benefits, but I think living here has far outweighs that. And I look out into a room that's full of peers that I look up to and business leaders. And as a small business owner, approaching my 5th year in starting Blossoms, it's really exciting to see, and I feel so much support about the business's success in this room in our area, and know that I'll be a florist for hopefully a good number of years to come.
We hope
Thank
so,
you
too.
so much.
I would ask that all winners stay afterwards till we can get some official photographs. Thank you so much. And the last couple years winners for the Emerging Leader Female category. '21 winner was Sarah Chapp of Confections of a Cake Lover presenting. We did not have one in 2021, or 2020. And she made your amazing desserts that are on all of your tables. So thank you so much to Sarah. And the 3 nominees in this category. And a couple of these categories, I say it every year, and I am being totally honest, I have to triple, quadruple check these. Some of them are within 4 or 5 points from the top to the 3rd or 4th person. So congratulations again to all of our nominees. And the 3 nominees in this category are Stacy Cross from Cross Home Care, Hope Feely from Channellock, and Katie Wickert from the city of Meadville. Congratulations, ladies. And now our 2021 Emerging Leader, Sarah Chapp of Confections of a Cake Lover.
Congrats to the strong women who were nominated. I'm so proud of you girls, so big hand for you again. All right, so growing up in Meadville, this person witnessed how important strong members of our local community are, whether they are lending their time, talent, or generosity. This compelled her to help her community in any way possible. Her time at Grove City College was fundamental in her growth as a person. She volunteered in many capacities in ways that helped draw prospective students and families to the college. Since returning to her hometown, she has become involved in many activities. She is on the Crawford Central Community Foundation Board, the Western Crawford County Junior Achievement Board, and has been a guest speaker in local high schools, technology education classes, where she shares her career story of becoming a project engineer at Channellock, as well as the opportunities for students to remain in our community post-high school graduation. She is an active volunteer with RoboBots and is a part of this STEAM fair where she put together a program for children from toddler to high school age to teach them of the fields of science, technology, engineering, art, and math. She is also active in the Epiphany of the Lord Parish, where she is a certified Soul Corps instructor and a member of the parish council. With many years ahead of her career, she is already making a positive impact in our community. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me in congratulating our 2022 Emerging Leader, Hope Feely of Channellock.
Hi everyone, congratulations to the other nominees. It's an honor to have been on the ballot with all of you. I would like to say a special thank you to my Channellock team over there. Thank you especially to Mark and John and the rest of the team for giving me the opportunities that led to me where I am today, especially with the different boards and projects. I couldn't be here without you, and my Channellock chicas over there too. I'm thankful for my family and my boyfriend Scott. Thank you for your support, especially in reading my long essay, because I know it was a feat to deal with my grammar. That's a problem. Thank you to all of you who are here tonight. I've been so thankful for the community's involvement in my life. If it wasn't for a lot of your foundations, especially like the NTMA and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. scholarship programs, I wouldn't have been able to graduate college the way that I did. So thank you to all of you, and I look forward to seeing what's next for our community.
Okay, it's Christian. It is the small nonprofit of the year, and last year's winner was the Crawford Heritage Community Foundation. Christian Marr, Executive Director. Can I announce the nominees? Okay.
Excited.
Christian cannot wait to announce the winner. The nominees are, congratulations to all of you, the Dr. Martin Luther King Scholarship Fund, the Meadville Area Free Clinic, and the Northwest PA chapter of NTMA. Christian will now announce the winner.
And as Hope mentioned, two of those organizations had a hand, along with, I will say, the Community Foundation, in shaping her career path in college. So I'll pat myself on the back for that one. I also, I can't win with this one because I work with all three organizations pretty closely, and two of them are probably not going to like me after this.
You're just reading.
I'm just reading. This organization plays a vital role in our community and has for generations. With over 25% of the county's workforce in manufacturing, sharing their story with the community is extremely important to help recruit employees. They have collaborated with other organizations to help them with their cause. They partner with the Crawford County K-12 Career Education Alliance, Eileen, I don't know how you say that all the time, to welcome educators and administrators into local manufacturing companies for tours and roundtable discussions on how to best promote local careers. And they have one of the most fun board of directors if you ever go to one of their meetings. There's beer. For younger age groups, they kicked off the Passport to Manufacturing in partnership with Pencrest School District by inviting students in 3rd to 9th grades to tour manufacturing companies on a Saturday. They attracted parents and family members to join to see what the industry is all about. This chapter has also driven the RoboButs competition for the past 16 years, which is amazing. Students go through the entire manufacturing process, bill of materials, machine assembly, and documentation. This event draws hundreds of people to connect to the contest every year. Their investment in outreach to youth only makes up a portion of their accomplishment. The chapter supports their members with group apprenticeship programs and discounted online industry resources to help them train their workforce. The Education Foundation gives scholarships to seniors each year, which I fund some of. And their signature event, the Blue Collar Bash, has made it possible to give thousands of dollars to local nonprofits over the years. All of these projects are made possible through the help of their over 90 wonderful volunteers. So please help me in congratulating this table over here, our 2022 Small Nonprofit of the Year, the Northwest Pennsylvania NTMA, National Tooling and Machining Association, Education Foundation.
So thank you all very much for this honor. Looking at the other people who were nominated, I feel very blessed to be up in front of you here. What wonderful organizations, the Free Clinic and the Martin Luther King Scholarship. So congratulations to you also. To give some perspective on the Northwest PA chapter, across the country there are 30 chapters of the NTMA. We are the only chapter whose board backs a full-time person to manage the chapter, which I think says a lot for our community and for our region in manufacturing. So I've been fortunate to be that person in this role for the past 13 years. I couldn't do it though without the 90 volunteers that Christian mentioned. And I want to give a shout out to Table 13, who are all participating on the foundation or on our board to support us. And I also see a couple past presidents in the group, Craig Mullen with Northwest, and I see Dennis Frampton there, who was actually on the team that hired me, thank you. And John Ritchie's on our board, he's out there somewhere. Who else am I missing? So thank you all. I know we have lots of volunteers who may have not served on our board, but are on committees and really make us make everything happen that we can do. So thank you very much. Hold it over my head.
No.
Okay.
No. Thank you.
And the large nonprofit of the year is the next category. In 2020, the winner was Junior Achievement of Western Pennsylvania. In 2021, last year's winner was Meadville Medical Center. And Jackie Lesher will be presenting this year's award. Thank you, Jackie. The nominees this year are the Crawford Area Transportation Authority, CATA, Center for Family Services, and the YMCA of Meadville. And Jackie, I will give you the honors.
This organization provides multiple services to our local community. Since its inception, this agency has been turning despair into hope and opportunity. They strive to make a permanent positive changes in individuals, families, and our local communities. Their core values are trust, integrity, collaboration, and respect. In recent times, the agency has responded with great resistance to effectively keep the people that they serve healthy, safe, and supported. They pride themselves in providing a hand up, not a handout. Over the course of the pandemic, the center provided over $6 million in assistance, all while still assuring homeowners and potential homeowners receive the services they need. They help with housing needs, credit counseling, parent education, anger management, and more. They operate 7 food pantries throughout Crawford County and provide emergency food boxes and distribute over 1 million pounds of food each year. The center distributes utility assistance, fire victim relief, personal care items, and basically all items needed to meet the most basic needs. The center's thrift store offers a voucher program for those that may need additional assistance and often has a great selection to choose from, thanks to our community. They also offer assisted re-entry for those living in prison with no support system. The folks in this program have become empowered as they move forward, being productive members of society. As you can see, they stay true to their vision. They envision a community that is safe, secure, and stable. A community healthy enough to sustain opportunities and strong enough to generate permanent change. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome the 2022 Large Nonprofit of the Year, Center for Family Services. Executive Director Jason Nesbitt.
Wow, thank you. Holy cow. So I had anticipated sitting down and writing something just in case, but then at like 11:30, I got a phone call from Eric that said, I need you at the courthouse right now to talk about ERAP, which is the Emergency Rental Assistance Program. So I'm gonna wing it. But first off, I'd like to thank the Chamber. I appreciate it. I try to attend as many things as I can. You guys are more than supportive. Everybody that had anything to do with setting this up, this is amazing. The individuals that were alongside us, the fact that like Tim and Tina, like to even say the center in the same breath as CATA and the Y is an honor. I will say that what I want to recognize is the fact that when you mentioned this $6 million that has went out, that's because of a portion of that table. The staff has been absolutely amazing. They have done what has been impossible. When we were asked to provide the assistance, we had no idea how much it was going to be or what it was going to entail. All we knew is there was an eviction moratorium and there was a chance that there was going to be a bunch of people that weren't getting rent paid. So we attempted to tackle it. And I don't think that there's a group of individuals that could have done it aside from you guys. And while we were doing that, we still had our family education department going in the homes to make sure that the families that we were working with through Human Services were still getting the services they need to make sure that the kids were safe and had stable homes. So while the world shut down, our workload increased tenfold. And I can't say thank you enough. So I appreciate that. When I look at this award, I look at everybody out here and I know how much you have supported us. So it's not just an award for the center, it's an award for everybody in here because you guys are what allowed us to make sure that we got all that support out. So I want to thank every single person in here that has reached out to the center, that has supported us, whether it be financially or just a word of encouragement. Skyler, you're a rock star. Yeah. This young lady over here, wherever she ends up in life, she's going to make somebody happy. But I want to say thank you. I appreciate everybody here. Thanks.
And now on to new business. The new business of the year in 2020 was Earth, Wind, and Wire Studio and Rock Shop. And last year in 2021 was Whole Health Orthopedic Institute, and Tara Lawrence will be coming forward to present that award. The new businesses of the year, which we are very blessed in our community to have a lot of new businesses. We have been doing a lot of ribbon cuttings and grand openings, so congratulations to all of these people. Blissful Meads, a new winery that's actually coming to Meadville very soon. I don't know where they are, somewhere out there. French Creek Framing and Fine Art. TNT Coverage Connection. And at this time, Tara, I will give you the honors.
Thank you. The Chamber loves to celebrate all businesses, but especially new businesses that have grown, expanded services, and are thriving. This company is one of those. When this company began, the original business plan was to hire an employee around the 1-year mark. That happened much quicker than anticipated, and the new hire was at month 5. There are always changes and learning curves when starting a business, especially one on your own. This one is no different. Through it all, this company has remained true to their mission statement. At the end of each and every day, know that we can and have made a difference in someone's life. They are living up to this statement in many ways. Relationship building is priority and what is best for clients. That is why many times in the beginning, service was provided without compensation, unbeknownst to these clients. The business has grown, offering more to their clients. Revenue increased each year. With that in mind, this company has always given back to the community and continues to do so. They have played an active role in the Chamber Foundation, being the president of the steering committee for the K-12 Career Education Alliance. I almost got it wrong. They love kids and sponsor several local ball teams, 4-H members, and also give back to Crawford Gives each year. Besides being involved in the community where the business is located, the owner is also very involved in her hometown community of Cambridge Springs, being appointed to the newly formed committee to revitalize her hometown. I would say this company and employees live up to their mission of making a difference in someone's life. They don't even know how many lives they have touched and changed along the way. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me in congratulating the 2022 New Business of the Year, T&T Coverage Connection, owned by Carolyn Hall.
It's a maze.
Okay, so I really didn't expect this because, let's face it, Corey was in this mix. And I haven't had a chance to partake in the Blissful Meads wine, but that's probably in my near future. So I really didn't expect this. I did write down a few words just in case, because there are so many people in this room that I respect that I didn't think I'd be able to focus. So, forgive me for having a couple things jotted down. So, when you do start a new business, there's a lot of anxiety and scariness that goes along with that. So I do have to thank my family, because they kind of held me together during some of those little bit more tearful times till we get to the triumphs, you know. They're not here tonight, but they know how much they mean to me. I also need to thank, in using Gary's term, one of my dots, which is Carolyn Hauser. She connected my dots and got me to this point. She made the connections with the great folks at Bush Investment Group, who have been a sounding board. I go to them for advice, bounce ideas off of them. They are amazing people, and if you haven't had a chance to meet them, please make an attempt to meet them, because they're amazing. The energy that that office provides is something special, and I like to feed off that. To my newest employee, Rachel Smith, she's here. She's a rock star. So she is already wanting to sign up for Gary's program this fall, so we're going to get that in place. She just passed her licensing exam Wednesday of last week, so we're ready to roll with her. And obviously, most importantly to my clients, I really care about them. And I know I wouldn't exist without them. So I hope that I let them know each time that they contact me that I am doing everything I can to help them, because I don't want insurance to be one of their worries. So, and of course, thank you to the Chamber for holding the event and having the awards. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Small Business of the Year. And in 2020, it was Pampered Palate Cafe and Bistro and Conference Center. So congratulations to Jason and Jen, like they're in the back somewhere probably doing dishes or something. And the 2021 winner was Bayshore Homes. Jim and Jean Martin will be presenting. And we have 4 businesses in this category. Confections of a Cake Lover, Earth, Wind, and Wire Studio and Rock Shop, Smoky Martin's Barbecue, and Vision Source Meadville.
Good evening, everyone. Many companies give back to their communities in a variety of ways. Not many of them have a theme written on their walls in which the work family does their very best to live out. This company's theme is one we could all learn from. See the good, be the good, do the good. They believe that each of us has the opportunity to build into the people around us, to lift others when they're in need, and to be able to serve each other with love and good deeds. They have done and continue to do this. They are embarking on their 27th year in business and have blossomed the company from one doctor, 3-day-a-week practice into a 3-location, multi-doctor operation that serves over 15,000 patients each year. The vision of Dr. Atzik and his team has always been to use the business to serve others. They want to give back and meet the physical needs of those around us, of those less fortunate. They are accomplishing this locally and globally. Their monthly charitable giving fund allows team members to be able to donate goods to those in need. They have been able to travel to several foreign countries to provide eye exams and glasses to people living in remote locations. Most recently, they partnered with the Gray Samaritan, an organization that rescues individuals from debt, bondage, and human trafficking. As you can see, this company is more than just an eye doctor's office, so much more. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me in congratulations our 2022 Small Business of the Year, Vision Source Meadville.
Are you going to do the speaking, or am I going to do the speaking?
She will mostly. She'll interrupt me. That's how we do this. So I talk, she interrupts.
It's teamwork.
It is.
We've done it for a long time.
But and we'd like to thank the Chamber and for anyone who's responsible for us achieving this tonight. We thank you very much for that, for sure. So at the beginning of the year, we just, as a group, kind of set our goals for the year. And as we as an office were talking about things, it really, with the negativity so much, unfortunately, as much of the world is nowadays, we just really tried to focus on something positive, and one of our staff came up with the thought of see the good. And that's really what we were trying to do as a staff. And as we look around our community, that's the neat part about it. As we look around many here in the room, we're just inspired by each of you as you're actually seeing the good, doing the good in our communities, and we appreciate that. So you inspire us to do better. So from Kim and I, thank you very much for this opportunity.
And the mid-sized business of the year is next. In 2020, we did not have one. In 2021, it was Hagen Business Machines of Meadville. And Craig Guy and John Cascio will be presenting. The nominees this year are Fuller Building Group, the Gilday Group, High Point Tool, and Glenn Peterson Floors and Furniture.
Thank you. Next, we have another business that is so much more than its name. This company has always had a reputation for quality service and honesty and has been in business for over 60 years. The current owners have owned it for over 10. They have expanded services and added a unique gift shop to their array of products already offered. One of the owners remains more active at the store location, while the other half of the duo wanted to immerse themselves in the community, and so she did. She's been on the Chamber Board of Directors, being on every committee they have, part of the Business and Professional Women's Group, and is currently on the board of the St. James Haven Men's Shelter. Community is very important to this company, so they have chosen to give back to numerous nonprofits that rely solely on private funds and foundations to help these organizations give back to those in need in our community. A few of those organizations include the Chamber Foundation, Meadville Medical Center Foundation, the Orlando Barco Center, where in October they hold a special fundraiser where all the funds of the items purchased are given back to the Barco Center. They also give the CHAPS, Westbury Foundation, Hospice of Crawford County, Food for Thought, and Women's Services, among others. They donate meals to the St. James Haven on a regular basis. This year, they set a goal to be able to, in addition to what they give locally, to take portions of each sale to give to Franklin Graham's Samaritan's Purse and to St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. As I stated, they're much more than their name. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me in congratulating our 2022 Mid-Sized Business of the Year, Glenn Peterson Floors and Furniture. Randy and Becky Arbuckle.
And we're getting Randy up here too with Becky.
Wow, you give it to me. Who's talking, me or you?
Knock yourself out, kid. I'll say something.
Well, this is really a surprise. We never expected this, so we didn't think anything up.
She told me I didn't have to wear a suit. So
Yeah,
I didn't.
And I let him out tonight. Have been involved with the chamber for over 20 years, so there's an awful lot of people that I know here. We love our community. When we bought the business, we could have left, and we did not want to. We decided to jump in headfirst and take on a very large responsibility. We love this community. We're very, very grateful and thankful that we're able to do more for the community, and every year we like to try and build on that. And yes, in this year, because of where we are in the world, we've decided to try and raise more money for 2 organizations that we feel are very, very, very worth it. So if anybody wants to help out, we're more than happy to help. So thank you very much. We really appreciate this. Thank you.
Let me say one thing.
Okay, say it.
I want to clarify, not that I like to clarify my wife's words. When she says we could have left, when we were presented with the opportunity by Glenn and Gail to buy the business, we were at a point in our existence where we were either staying here or going anywhere in the world just to see what we could do or what the world could do to us. And we stayed here. And that wasn't a, well, we don't have any other options, so I guess we have to do this. We do believe in this area. We believe in small town, in community, and in supporting each other. And we're very fortunate because we bought a business that was well established. Glenn was a hard-nosed little guy. Many of you probably knew him, and whether you loved him or hated him, you couldn't fault his work ethic. And you know, him and Gail and all of them busted their tails to build that business. I've been there for, my wife tells me, 33 years. I think her math's faulty. But anyway, and the community continued to support us. And when an established business changes hands, there's always that, what if nobody cares? What if everybody says, well, we don't want anything to do with them anymore? And this community did not do that. That means a tremendous amount to us, and we appreciate everything, and we appreciate all the hard work. It's so good to see a group of individuals that still believe hard work matters, because that's suffering in our world, among other things. And so it's just an honor to be here, and I cannot thank you enough. The other nominees that were up along with us are fantastic businesses. We have relationships with them, and I had absolutely no thoughts whatsoever that we would get this award, and we thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
And I have one Diamond Award left. We have the Large Business of the Year. And in 2020, we did not have one. And in 2021, Vantage Healthcare. The large business nominees are Cross Home Care, Interim Healthcare, and Zare Builders. And I will let you take it away.
Thank you.
We have another family-owned business that strives to maintain a balance between business, family, and faith while remaining loyal to their goal of making a difference in people's lives. This company has learned to adapt over the years while staying true to providing quality products as well as ensuring their customers receive the highest level of quality service. They are extremely grateful to have sustained business in the last couple of pandemic years by coming up with creative ways to overcome the supply chain issues, the ever-rising cost of materials, and continued labor shortages. They are truly grateful that they were able to provide assistance to their employees and community through this difficult time. This company encourages their employees to be involved in the community. They have employees in the local International Referral Network group, on various chamber committees, leaders in local Boy Scout troops, and more. They sponsor the Crawford County Youth Soccer Association, Maplewood Tigers travel baseball team, among others. The employees volunteer at the local food pantry and serve at the local soup kitchen. Keeping with this giving theme, they sponsor a breast cancer awareness event to benefit the Yolanda Barco Oncology Institute and contribute to the Meadville Public Library. Besides giving back to the community locally, they want to promote well-being and development of communities around the world. As such, they make donations to the Mordecai Project, which is a Christian ministry devoted to protecting and empowering women around the world, as well as the Bold Venture, a men's and women's retreat focused on discipleship and mentorship. They have traveled to Liberia, participating in the African Mercy Partners, which raises funds for orphanages and schools throughout Liberia. As you can see, they are much more than a simple company name. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me in congratulating the 2022 Large Business of the Year, Zare Building.
Lawrence Zare of Zare Building.
Well, congratulations to the other nominees as well, very well deserved. I'm very humbled and honored to be up here tonight. My wife is at home with a sick child, almost didn't make it, and so glad I did and honored to be here. I want to thank the Chamber for their support of local businesses. I just think it's incredible, the services that you guys offer and the support. So thank you, each one of you guys. I came to Meadville with the desire to serve the community and meet the needs of our customers, and really had no idea what I was in store for. I've said many times, if I had any idea what I was in store for, I may not have started the journey, but I'm excited to be here and have weathered all the challenges. All of you that have grown a business know what you're getting into and the challenges that go with that. But I'm incredibly honored to be up here and to receive this award. I want to thank Meadville, the Meadville community, surrounding communities. We exist because of our customers, and so that's the reason we're here tonight. So I want to thank the Meadville community and surrounding communities. I want to thank our employees. We wouldn't exist, wouldn't be able to meet the needs of our customers without our employees, and so thankful for each one of them, hardworking, good people. Lastly, I want to thank my family and friends who have supported me on this journey, and many, many business colleagues that are in this room that have helped me succeed, given me advice, guided me along the way. I'm very thankful to each one of you, and again, I'm honored. Thank you.
Congratulations. At this time, it's my great pleasure to introduce Gary Elizio from the Shafer Law Firm and Dr. Hillary Link from the president of Allegheny College to present our most distinguished Raymond P. Shafer Award for Distinguished Community Service. And I do want to draw your attention. We have 2 past winners in the room, and this is quite an honor for those of us that are here to have you here with us. So we have Dr. Armendia Dixon, who was the winner in 2018. Please rise, Dr. Dixon. And Dennis Frampton, one of our last year's winners.
Good evening. I'm so glad we recognized Dennis Frampton because he was last year's winner when we were virtual, and you couldn't quite feel the love back, Dennis, from this room. So congratulations again. On behalf of Shafer Law Firm, we are honored and with gratitude to co-present with Allegheny College and especially Dr. Hillary Link, president at the college, the Raymond P. Shafer Award this year again. This really isn't our award, though, to present. It's this community's award. For 31 years, we've honored this tradition of recognizing individuals who have been exceptional with their volunteerism, with their community service. And that's one of those traditions in this community that I think binds us together. So we're happy that it continues. Congratulations to Jay Verno, who is an incredibly worthy recipient. Our Shafer Law Firm curling team salutes you. Thank you for introducing us to the sport. And congratulations to you, your family, Bernadette, Lauren, and Rachel, who are here tonight. Dr. Hillary Link.
Thank you, Gary, and I'm really honored to be here on behalf of the college. So as we reach the final award of the evening, I am reminded of its namesake, whose legacy we all strive in our own way to mirror. Raymond P. Shafer, a pillar of the past generation, was far more than his resume detailed. Shafer was a graduate and later president of Allegheny College, served as governor of Pennsylvania, founded a law firm under his name and reputation, and is responsible for numerous other accomplishments that we all benefit from as residents of this state and nation daily. I like to say he set a very high bar for what the president of Allegheny should do with their life. It's a bit intimidating to follow in his footsteps. Shafer was, however, far more than the sum of these great deeds. He was a friend of, a volunteer in, and a cheerleader for our community throughout his adult life, the same qualities we are proud to honor in our current generation's community leader tonight. Like Governor Shafer, our honoree tonight has the confidence and drive to confront complex issues, and in the process, to rally others to create positive change. Jay Verno's service and commitment to our community shine through in so many ways. As a business leader, a volunteer, and a relentless advocate for Meadville and Western Crawford County. Jay's best-known public involvement is his service as a board member of the Meadville Area Recreation Authority and the Meadville Area Recreation Foundation. A nomination for this award noted that, and I quote, "The mark, as the community understands the facility, would not be what it is today without the direct and continuing involvement of Jay Verno." Jay, who has served as chair of the Meadville Area Recreation Authority Board, has invested time, insight, and collaborative vision in strengthening this wonderful community resource and ensuring its ongoing success. Jay's boundless energy has led to numerous special events and initiatives at the Mark, from an annual Remarkable Community Day to persuading skeptics that Meadville was ready for curling. But Jay's involvement in the community isn't limited to the Recreation Authority. As the co-owner and president of Hagen Business Machines for 3 decades, he not only contributed to the region's economy, but also reinvested in it through the philanthropic support of many different fundraisers and events. From his longtime service on the board of directors of the Meadville, Western Crawford County Chamber of Commerce, and now his service on the Crawford County Convention and Visitors Bureau, he is known for his tireless support of local businesses first. His leadership and service on other boards and initiatives are too numerous to mention here. But suffice it to say that the region's economic, civic, and cultural vitality have benefited immensely from Jay's dedication and hard work. And as a side note, we're happy to call him an Allegheny parent, as his daughter Rachel is an alum. Indeed, when the going gets tough, Jay gets going. Whether that's rolling up his sleeves as a volunteer, presenting ideas in an unassuming way that stimulates further discussion, or facilitating a conversation that cuts through disagreements and leads to consensus. Jay is respected for his ability to channel a group's energy, even when it's negative, to develop partnerships that bring positive results. And when Jay isn't moving mountains, he climbs them. As chairperson of the Meadville Medical Center Foundation in 2019, Jay joined a group of 10 volunteers who climbed Mount Kilimanjaro to raise money in Crawford County's fight against cancer, meeting their goal to raise $250,000 to bring state-of-the-art cancer care to our community. I'll close with a few words from a nomination that sum up Jay's immeasurable contributions to our community. It is impossible to fully appreciate Jay's contribution to the Meadville, Western Crawford County region, as it covers decades and literally many thousands of hours of volunteer work. Jay is the first to recognize others for their efforts, while never looking for anything other than seeing that things transpire for the community. Just last month, after 30 years at the helm of Hagen Business Machines of Meadville, Jay passed on the torch of Hagen's leadership to spend time with his family and to dedicate more time, no doubt, to his community, our community. Tonight, we are delighted to put the well-deserved spotlight of that torch on you, Jay. Please join me at this time in congratulating Jay Verno, the recipient of the 2022 Governor Raymond P. Shafer Award for Distinguished Community Service.
I think I'm speechless for the first time ever. You know, let me start off by saying what a great night this is, all right? The chamber has been a big part of my life for 30 years, and maybe even longer than that. And I really believe that this group is as good as any group I've ever belonged in terms of supporting not just the businesses, but the community at large and all the things that we've been able to accomplish. But I do want to thank you, and I'm not sure who wrote that introduction, but I'm blown away by it. You know, I'm just so honored to have been chosen for this particular award. Community service has always been a big part of my goal and was honestly one of the reasons why when we got the opportunity to buy the business, Craig and I wanted to do something good for the community and ourselves. And it did blossom and it did grow.
But I'm going to get back on track here, so I don't keep you here too long. I want to thank my friends and my family for being here to support me tonight. There's a lot of you in the room for sure. You know, I'm really lucky to have both of my daughters, Lauren and Rachel, here. My friends and my family have all helped to influence the kind of person that I've become. I especially want to thank my wife of 36 years. You know, I love you, Bernadette, and not a day goes by that I don't think about how lucky I was to make that really big sale so many years ago. Best sale ever. Unfortunately, dear, there are no returns on this one. I want to thank my Hagen family. You know, they're here. Obviously, we were an award winner. Craig and John are ready to do great things with Hagen and new and fresh ideas. You know, I'm glad you're able to attend. It's really been a great ride, and I look forward to you guys growing to even bigger and better things. I want to give a sincere thank you to my parents in heaven, Joe and Shirley. They set an example for us growing up. You know, I don't know anyone who worked harder to provide for their family. Their work ethic impacted me tremendously. I want to express my profound gratitude to the Chamber Committee, Allegheny, and the Shafer Law Firm for selecting me for this award. You know, I'm sure there are a lot of others who are really more deserving than me, but this is what makes our area so special. The people who live here, work here, and most important, how much they care about the community. You saw that tonight, time and time again, people paying it forward. I have been very fortunate, and I'll say that again, very fortunate over the years to have many mentors, people who invested in me and inspired me. People like Clark Kaufman, early on. Dennis Frampton, who's in the room. What a great path and way to show me how to be a leader, Dennis. Joyce Sherry, Tammy Adams, Kim Flynn Murky, who gives back tirelessly to this community. People like Dwayne Kohler, Rob Smith, Ellie Davies herself. You know, Ellie was sending me, I think it was emails, I can't remember if it was text or emails, but right up until the end, she was telling me and encouraging me. It was just amazing to hear from her. People like Jim Duratz, Dan Crandall, Art Gacolin, Gene Wazinski, who's here tonight, Bill Chisholm, just to name a few. These are all the people I learned from. I'm especially thankful to Dick Castor, who was able to join us tonight. You know, Dick showed me what being committed to a cause like the Meadville Area Rec Complex really looked like. We were able to make some substantial improvements over the last 20 years, and Dick and I are still working on really setting up the endowment fund that's going to ensure that the Mark has a very bright long-term future. And again, you're a friend, you're a mentor, a good guy if you don't know Dick. You know, I could really go on, and anyone who knows me could vouch on that. But I would like to conclude by reading a short passage from a book that actually accompanied me to the top of Mount Kilimanjaro and back. If you know, by the way, if you've ever desired to climb a mountain, that is one you want to try. Most people could do it. You have to do it with some training. But I would tell you it was the best adventure I've ever had, and definitely the best climbing team I have ever had. Right, DJ? Yeah. John? The book is called 101 Distinctions Between Success and Failure. And it was written by Keith Cameron Smith and Doug Hansen. And I promise you, it's going to be short, but hopefully you'll take something away from this. I picked out this one. It's called Distinction number 39. Success is to be thankful. Success is to be thankful. Failure is to take people and things for granted. Having gratitude is one of the easiest ways to experience success. Being thankful for the people in your life is a deep and powerful way to feel good. There is always something you can find about others that you don't like, but there's usually something you can be thankful about as well. Look for the good in others, and it is much easier to be thankful for them. I believe people can sense when you truly appreciate them. They can also sense when you take them for granted. People who feel like they're being taken for granted don't usually remain with you very long. This goes for a spouse, a child, or an employee. If you want deep and meaningful relationships, then be more thankful for the people in your life. This goes for things also. If you want to enjoy success, you must appreciate everything you have, or you may end up losing it. Success is being thankful. I am truly thankful to be part of this community. I hope you have a lovely end to your evening. And again, thank you all.
Just a couple thank yous before everyone runs off. If I could have my board of directors please stand. They are listed in your program. I am very blessed to have an engaged and supportive board of directors, so a big round of applause, please. Most of them are here this evening. And one more time, I would like Eileen Mullen, Karen Stout, and Megan Waters to please stand. We are your chamber team and here for you, and I couldn't be prouder of this group of ladies. Big thank you to all of our sponsors for making this event possible. Congratulations to all of our nominees. You were in great company in each category, and congratulations to this year's winners. Big thank you to Kim Flynn Murky and all of the staff at Star Marketing Group for your patience. Thank you so much for everything that you do for us, especially things like this. And those of you that are here and would like photos from this evening, please be sure Tabitha Regal is here from Backwood Bell Studios, and she will be taking pictures of all of the winners afterwards. And if you would like those, please be sure to check that out. The information is in your program. Our bartenders that are in the back of the room, big round of applause for Shelby Robinson, my sister, Cindy Martz, and Kayla Lesovic for being here this evening for us. And Jason Backus. I see you back there, Jason, like taking garbage or something. Thank you so much to you, your lovely wife, Jen, and your staff for always being so great with us here this evening. And at this time, I'd like to introduce Tony Boca one more time for just a simple adjournment. Thank you for being with us this evening, everyone. Have a safe drive home. And I hope to see you at many of our upcoming chamber events. Be sure to check out that schedule in your program.
Thank you. Before I close the meeting, I would probably be shot if I didn't mention thank you to Sean Miller with Firehouse Tap and Grill and Miller Brothers Staffing for providing the shuttle service back and forth this evening. So with that being said, thank you everybody for coming. We will go ahead and officially close this meeting. Consider this meeting adjourned.